I'll just go ahead and hit record, and then we can get started, okay?
All right.
All right.
Okay. So welcome everyone to our third webinar that we've done for writing college application essays. So once again, I am Erin. I'm the Mathis High School 11th and 12th grade advisor. And this is Nathan, Schwausch, Mr. S, for Senton High School 11th and 12th grade. Thank you, everyone that is watching this, and let's go ahead and get started to learn a little bit more. So we're going to have two primary goals for this website. First one is to understand the different essay prompts that appear on Apply Texas, and the next is to actually develop a game plan for writing your essays. Do you want to throw out a little note? This is a pretty content-heavy webinar. A lot of slides have kind of a bulk of text on them, but we're going to try and break it down, go through it, and this will be recorded. So you can play back at any time. Reach out to us, of course, if you have questions. We're here for you. And then lastly, just you can type in your questions any time in the chat. So real quick, this is talking about page 9. So when you're doing your Apply Texas essay, page 9 is the essay. This is where most students get hung up, is on page 9. We know that it's difficult. We know that writing essays isn't always the easiest, especially when it's about you, but we're here to try and help make that manageable. And we understand that this is the most difficult part of your Apply Texas application.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the basics of the Apply Texas College applications. So with the Apply Texas application essays, there are 3 main prompts, essay prompts A, B, and C. Of the 3, the most popular one is going to be essay topic A, and we'll get into the specifics of what that topic prompt asks for here in a few minutes. Some schools have these essays listed as requirements, and others have it listed as optional or recommended. If a school lists an essay as recommended or optional, we highly, highly, highly recommend that you write the essay anyway, because even if the essay is not required for the purposes of the admissions process, it could still be considered for scholarships, or if you do not meet the automatic admission criteria with the top 10% or based on your SAT or ACT scores, the essay may still be considered when it comes to the holistic review process. So if an essay is listed as optional, still write it anyway, even though essays are not necessarily super easy to write at times. It's definitely worth the time it takes to write it. Mm-hmm. So it is important to keep track of which schools you're planning to apply to, because they do have different prompt requirements. Because some schools may require essay prompt A, whereas others may prefer essay prompt B. So make sure that you are researching what the prompt requirements are for the schools you're interested in. If you're not sure, just ask your college advisors and we'll help you out. As far as the length of the application essays, we typically recommend about 500 to 600 words. Keep in mind that the applications committee is reading tons of essays every single day from students that are applying. So try to keep it short. Don't write like a 3-4 page thesis about your life. Just try to keep it really short and sweet. Just answer the prompts and move on. As far as the writing process itself, I always encourage students to think of it as a process, not something that you have to sit down and write the whole thing start to finish at one time. If you try to do it all at one sitting, it can be really stressful and it will really overwhelm you. So take a little bit of time to just do a little bit here and there. Maybe you start out just writing an outline for what you might want to write about. Then another day you spend 15, 20 minutes just writing an introductory paragraph, or another day you write a conclusion paragraph. Do a little bit here and there, and make sure that you give yourself time to review your essay, whether you ask like a teacher, counselor, college advisor to revise it for you. Just take time to go through the whole process. Don't just write it all on the day that you have to submit your essay, because if you do it all at once, don't give yourself time, it's going to be reflected in the quality of your work. So what is the point of the college application essay? Like I said, the admissions committees read countless essays every day from students that are applying to the school. So the essay is an opportunity for you to show the committee what you were like as a person and what you were like as a student. Whether you believe it or not, you are unique from every single other student that is applying to that school, and this is your opportunity to showcase that. So there's not really any magic answer to what are they looking for in the essay, but generally speaking, it's always good to include qualities that suggest that you'll be a successful student in college, such as maturity, self-awareness, critical thinking, perseverance. It's also a place to share what makes you different from every other student, and that you can be thoughtful and think critically in regards to the essay, because there's not really a formula per se of what you have to write about in regards to these prompts. So there is definitely room for you to be creative and make the prompts your own, because like I said, every single one of you is unique. So what should the essay itself look like? First of all, these are personal essays that are focusing on you and your story. So of course you'll be using the word I a lot. Don't write in the third person. Don't say, that is when John decided it was time to get serious about athletics. No, you use the word I, because this is a personal essay. And make sure that these essays reflect your personality. If you're funny, be funny. Be whimsical. If you're serious, be real serious and stoic. And lastly, these should tell stories and give you an opportunity to reflect on those stories. These don't necessarily have to be life-changing stories, but again, try to find an opportunity to reflect on this story and tell that you've learned from your experiences and how you have grown and developed certain quality or qualities that schools may look for in these applications. Now we'll go ahead and jump into the essay prompts themselves.
All right, so we're going to be starting off with topic A. As Nathan mentioned earlier, this is the most common essay that the schools are looking for. So if you're only going to write one essay, write essay topic A. So the prompt is, tell us your story. What unique opportunities or challenges have you experienced throughout your high school career that have shaped who you are today? So let's break this down. It's asking for two different things. The first part, the tell us your story. Tell us your story. So the committee that's reading this wants to know about you, how you are unique. What challenges have you faced in high school? When we're looking at this, be sure to keep in mind that this says through your high school career. This is a big change from the way this prompt used to be. So instead of focusing over your whole lifetime, they really want you to hone in on essentially the last 3 years of your life. They're not really caring if you broke your leg when you were in 4th grade and how you overcame difficulties. They're not really going to care about that. They're wanting to know like most recent type. Second, they're wanting you to explain how those experiences, quote, have shaped who you are today. This is kind of the main point of this essay. They're wanting to know how have the things that have happened in high school or the thing that you're talking about, how has it made you who you are? This is the reflection side of things. And just a quick note on that, when they say career, they just want you to focus on like that high school time frame. Specifically any events that have immediately impacted like schoolwork or just high school in general. Not necessarily like it has to be that, but that's just a pretty good suggestion as to what to lean towards. So that's a lot to take in. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about how you can brainstorm for this particular essay. So the key of this essay is answering that second half, explaining how your story influenced you. So I think the best way to tackle this essay is to actually start with the second point. So brainstorming your personal values and beliefs. What personal values do you want to emphasize? Some good ones to think about: integrity, honesty, individuality, generosity, gratitude, courage. We have them listed there. There's more. Think of it as anything that you would want to demonstrate to an admissions rep of like, this is why I would be good at your college. So coming up with those first, and then finding a story that leads into those values is the best way to tackle topic A. You're essentially reverse engineering it. So once you know what you want to emphasize, then you're looking for the specific story to get to it. So if you're wanting to highlight your creativity, you can come up with a way of like creative problem solving. Maybe you had a band event or something of that nature, and you needed to figure out how you're going to get X number of people in one area, like the flow of traffic, like anything like that. That is finding a story that fits what you're wanting to talk about. So remember, high school career. And then brainstorm connections. Is there a vivid way to describe how your chosen environment created or expanded or changed your values? They're wanting to know change. This is really where you're trying to show your growth. That's what they're wanting to see here. So the structure. We've talked about good ways to brainstorm it. We've talked about kind of breaking down the prompt itself. Now, once you have your idea of what you want to write, this is a good basic outline to cover. So in your first paragraph or two, this is where you're going to describe the event or occurrence. So this is the story, the actual events that happened. The next paragraphs, you're going to want to discuss how you felt and how you responded to it. As this kind of says, like, if something happened, like, they want to know your feelings. It's weird talking about yourself, but that's what this is. Finally, this is the main part of this essay. So you can see about the word counts. This one should have more words than the others. So this is the reflecting on what you learned from this experience. How did you use your values in this experience? Were they tested? How did they change or develop for the future? And how did you grow from this experience? What did you get out of this experience? And putting that into words. So that is kind of the basic structure for topic A. Good kind of guidelines to follow. You're probably going to have about 3-4 paragraphs. That's topic A.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about topic B. So topic B's prompt reads, most students have an identity, interest, or talent that defines them in an essential way. Tell us about yourself. Again, like essay prompt A, this one has two main parts. First, it asks you to choose one identity, interest, or talent that you want to discuss. keyword being or. I've seen students that fall into the temptation of writing about identity, interest, and talent, which gets really convoluted and just really hard to write. So what I would recommend doing first is choose something that you would want to write about that you could write a solid essay on. So that could be an identity, like maybe you're a student athlete and that defines you in an essential way. Maybe you're interested in astronomy and that defines you, or maybe you're a really talented musician, you play the guitar really well. After you have selected your identity, interest, or talent that you want to talk about, you have to show how that defines you in an essential way. So in other words, this could be a chance for you to talk about things that make you unique and also show how they prepare you for success in college or in life after high school, generally speaking. The trick is to focus on what quality or qualities this identity, interest, or talent has given you. Like I said, an identity could be maybe something like you're a student athlete, and maybe that has taught you the importance of persevering, never giving up no matter what the score is on the field, or the importance of practicing. You know, it's important to practice throughout the week, not just wait till the games on Friday or Saturday, because, you know, that's an important quality to success in college. You're going to have to be studying outside of class time. Or maybe your talent as a great musician has taught you a lot. I'm a great guitarist, and mastering the guitar has helped me learn these qualities, such as, again, perseverance, the importance of practicing, etc. Those are just some examples. The best essay will show that your identity, interest, or talent has prepared you for your major or for college life in general. But one tip I have for students is these don't necessarily have to be feel-good stories that you write about how you conquered some great feat. It could be a story about failure. Again, I always go to sports because that's what I'm comfortable with, but you could talk about a story about how you were an athlete and you lost really badly to some team, you got destroyed, and then you learned that, you know, it takes hard work to be the best. So stories about failure can be just as powerful as stories about success.
All right, so the third and final prompt, topic C, is a little bit different than the other two. So prompt, you've got a ticket in your hand. Where will you go? What will you do? What will happen when you get there? So this is super open-ended, and the readers are wanting to see your creativity. They're wanting to see humor, your dreams, your personality. They're wanting to see a little bit more than just like, you know, what you're involved with. So for this one, you just want to generate as many ideas as possible since it's so open-ended. There can be so many topics for you to write on. So first, like thinking about questions of where have you always wanted to go? Do you want to go to the past? Do you want to go to the future? Don't just limit yourself on like the locations. It can be locations in time, like going back into the past and meeting someone famous. However, when we are talking about this, locations, make sure to try to avoid the really common ones, like Hogwarts. Everyone has read a story of someone wanting to go to Hogwarts. I want to go to Hogwarts, but they don't want to hear it. It's going to be the same as everyone else that's writing it. So kind of expand a little bit. Second, another topic could be something that you've always wanted to do. If there's something that you want to learn how to do, like you've always wanted to learn how to ski, so you want to go to the mountains, and even though you know skiing would be hard, you want to test it out, you want to try it, you want to learn something new. Third, who have you always wanted to meet? Are there historical figures you'd like to have dinner with? Why? Like, meeting Susan B. Anthony to learn about like women's suffrage. That could be something you want to talk about. After you have like a whole bunch of ideas written down, then you can really kind of see, well, which one of these shows the most about my personality? Which one gives enough content to actually write an essay? Granted, this essay is a little bit shorter than the previous ones. You still need content. There's only so many ways you can say the same sentence over and over again until it's like, okay, we get it. One big thing that you do want to avoid with topic C is you do not want to say that you have a ticket to the school that you're applying to. No one wants to read an essay about how I want to go to UT and my ticket is my acceptance letter. No, just don't do it. Save everyone trouble. You can write a much better story using your creativity elsewhere. So like I mentioned, this essay is going to be a little bit shorter than your other essays. It doesn't have to be, that's just kind of a general. 2 paragraphs is fine. So the first one being where you want to go and why. Why is it important to you? Why do you want to go there? And then second, what would you do? What would happen? Putting in as much vivid detail as possible. That's huge. You want to really kind of paint the whole picture for your reader. You want to show the reader that you can reflect, like, why do you want to do this? What does it say about you? That's really topic C. So kind of moving on to a little bit different of a topic. It's on everyone's minds. So it is definitely okay to talk about how COVID has impacted your family. I don't know a single person that hasn't been affected some way or another by COVID. Include it in your essays. Admissions are wanting to know how your family, how you guys have managed, if things have changed. This is a big turning point. So there's that. And now, one last quick overview of your essay topics. So essay topic A, this is the values and story. Essay topic B, this is what makes you unique. And essay topic C is just being creative. So if all you take away from this is this chart, that's fine. You at least know kind of the overall gist of what you're trying to write about. Oh, it hates me. There we go.
All right, so just some final thoughts before we wrap up today. First of all, key thing is be yourself. Like I keep saying, every single one of you is unique and different. I hear students that say, well, I'm not cool. I don't have anything unique. That's not true. You're all interesting. You're all unique people. The key is you just have to show that in your essay. Find a way to share that and you'll knock it out of the park. Next, make sure that you represent the best version of yourself. So this goes back to what I was saying earlier. Don't just type it all out in one sitting in 30 minutes and submit it on the day before the essay is, or the application is due. Odds are there's going to be some kind of error if you type it up super quick and don't proofread it. So make sure you allocate some time to at least proofread your essay. If there's someone in your life that you trust to read your essay, I know some students may not be comfortable if they write about really personal stuff, but it's really good if you can find someone that you trust to read your essay, whether that's a high school counselor, English teacher, or even, you know, of course, your college advisors. We're more than happy to do that. That's what they pay us the big money for. LOL. And another tip that I learned in college, and that's really helpful for almost anyone that I've talked to when it comes to writing essays or emails or anything that you need to sound good or professional, try reading it out loud. That might sound uncomfortable to a lot of students, but it really is a great way to help catch some kind of phrases or wording that might be off that you might not catch just because, when you're sitting at a screen looking at it, reading it in your head countless times, you might not catch some kind of grammatical or phrasing error. But when you read it aloud, that's a great way to catch it. And lastly, you got this. I know these essays are intimidating. I know the whole college application process in general is intimidating, but you've made it through 12 years of school, and high school is no joke. Y'all have all accomplished really great things, so you can do this, and we're here to support you any way that we can, whether you just need moral support, someone to tell you you got this, you can do this, or if you need help coming up with something to write about, or if you need help reviewing your essays, we're here for you any way we can help. Okay.
Yep, so
and there's our contact information.
These are our emails if you don't already have them. And now really quick, we are going to post in the YouTube chat a link to a quick attendance, essentially, because we want to know if you are here, because I guarantee you, if you're watching this recorded, it's probably because we hounded you to watch it, because that's what we're about to do to everyone. So go ahead and fill it out so that we can kind of check mark you off our list. So let's see, should be up in chat. Perfect. Awesome. Cool. So once you fill that out, you're good. We appreciate you. We know you can do it. You got it. Are there any questions from chat? Let's see. Once you fill it out, I see that there's been some good discussion in chat. Very cool. Awesome, y'all. Well, thank you for attending our webinar. Shoot us any more questions that you guys might have. We're here to answer them. Yeah. All right, y'all.